You know, one of the most interesting and exciting aspects of motorcycling is touring. You never know what you're going to meet along the way, but you need a bike to do it on. Now, a touring bike with a full set of luggage and as much equipment as you want on the bike, you're going to get no change from 10 grand or more. But consider this, you can have a bike that's big enough to take you anywhere in extreme comfort with more bells, buttons and gadgets than you could ever possibly require for an awful lot less. This is one of them. Honda's GL1200 Goldwing. This is the Aspencade version with just about every possible conceivable extra. And this one is a 1984 A-registered version. And one of these can be yours for around £5,000. So what do you get for your £5,000? Well, the answer is, if you buy one of these, an awful lot. You get a 1200cc flat 4-cylinder water-cooled engine, which is good for well in excess of 100,000 miles, very low revving and super smooth. You get more boxes, panniers and compartments than you could possibly wish for. This one's actually got armrests so the passenger can fall asleep on the back. There's a driver's backrest to save you back on the long journeys. This top box will actually take 2 full face helmets. It's full of my junk at the moment, but there's a little vanity mirror in there so you can do your hair before you walk into your pub. And around the side we've got panniers, both sides matching panniers, all colour coded. The panniers themselves are absolutely huge. The lid comes off like that, and again you get just as much stuff in there than you're ever going to need for that touring holiday. Coming round to the front, to the actual inside of the fairing, we've got a cubby hole on here, if I can find the right key. It's actually a lockable glove box. That undoes with the key, that lifts off and you've got a compartment there. Same on the other side. That's not actually lockable on that, it's just press studs on, but you can keep your little bits and pieces and some loose change in there for when you're going through your toll gates. Inside here, where the petrol tank would normally be, is actually a compartment, because the petrol tank on this machine is below the seat. In fact, you can actually see the filler cap there. The petrol tank goes underneath there, which helps to keep the weight low. One comment people say when they see these bikes is they say, no, can't handle, doesn't drive very well, looks like a bus, top heavy. Don't believe a word of it until you've ridden one. The weight is very low, with it being a flat configuration, the engine, all the weight is very low, and they do actually handle a lot better than they look like they should. So there's your petrol tank. In here we've got another compartment which is full of my tapes which I've been listening to for the last month. All sorts of various bits and pieces, I won't bore you with the details of those. And the engine itself, it doesn't sound, it's not a rip-roaring sound, it's quite a smooth engine. Let's just see if it'll should fire up first time. Oh, I should point out, if they don't hear you coming because of the engine, they'll certainly hear you coming with that onboard stereo radio cassette, so you can cruise along all day to your favourite tunes. And there you go, super smooth. A little bit of oil coming, a little bit of smoke coming out the back. That's because it's been on the side stand, and they do tend to smoke a tiny bit when they start up from cold. But you're not going to upset anybody in the morning starting that up on your drive. Well, I've had a quick break now, time to go and do a little bit more. But before I go, I'm just wondering what colour lamps shall I have showing at the front this time? Shall I have the little amber lamps? Or shall I have the yellow fog lamps? I don't think so, it's not foggy. So we have the white spot lamps, they look quite good. And at the back, well, I think we'll have the bottom light bar on this time, I think. Tremendous selection of lights on this thing. Also, something else that we've got down here that we've not played with yet is the air suspension unit. Press that for, that's the front, that's the rear, so you press that for the front, and on the dashboard there, on the LCD display, you see it comes up front, and it's a little bit hard at the front, so we'll just press the bottom release button, drop a bit of air up, and one bar disappears, a little bit less pressure. In the back, well, we're set round about medium, but I fancy throwing it around a little bit, so we can press that, increase the pressure, and just stiffen the back suspension up slightly. There we go, that should do the trick. So there we go, lots of things to play with. Oh, something else on this side that we've been playing with all the way along the road is this auto volume. What that does, that cuts in at around about 40 odd 50 miles per hour, and that increases the volume of the radio cassette as your speed increases. So you don't need to lean forward and turn it up to compensate for the wind noise. It's all automatic. They've thought of everything. The problem with driving one of these is there's not enough hours in the day. You could sit on this for ages and ages. So comfy, you won't get cold, you're well protected, and there's enough bells, buttons and gadgets to play with to keep you busy all day long. And you can listen to your music while you do it. So if you can't afford a brand new Tourer, £10,000–11,000, whatever it may cost, this one, 1984, it's a good alternative, around about £5,000, well worth considering.